Yo, today we talk about toxicity. Um, yeah, I'm gonna keep the intro as short as that. Let's get it started. What up, Nappy Heads? Nappy Head Millie here today, and today I'm back on the cam. Yeah, I finally got my Elgato to work. Well, my cam link to work. Anyway, today we're gonna talk about toxicity. Now, the reason I want to talk about toxicity is because of a situation that happened to me yesterday. And I'll talk about the situation later on in the video, but I really think we need to talk about this. So what is toxicity? Well, if you know what toxicity is, you know what toxicity is. Basically, a situation that is poisonous that taints you in mental health, actual health, and stuff like that. Um, And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I really think our generation doesn't truly understand what a toxic relationship or a toxic situation is. You know what I mean? Um, I want to, we could call this a story time. I want to talk about a toxic situation that happened in my life that it kind of pushed me to be the person that I am today. So, back in 2000 and I want to say it was 17 when I first came back home. I was 26. I was pushing to go back to school. I had just came from Virginia, coming through a depressing time, leaving out a relationship that I wasn't ready to leave out of, but I knew I needed to leave out of for certain situations I might detail later. But um, I started getting myself ready to go to school, and I was looking for work. Now I ended up finding this job. I won't put the name out of the job because I don't want to tarnish some good people that's at the job. But I ended up picking up this job, just working with veterans, getting to know people, getting to learn about veterans, getting to see the side of veterans that I didn't see when I was in the military. So why I say this situation, I know a lot of you are like, yo, it's a job, it's a good thing. No, this is toxic. Toxicity has so many different forms. When you work a job like I did, I worked a job from 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I would say basically a 9 to 5, 8 to whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I'm working all day, no breaks, no nothing. I'm helping out all these veterans. I'm getting all this, helping people out. And I took no days off. I've really never took days off. So I had to take a day off because I had real bad back spasms one day. I ended up taking a day off. I ended up getting checked for my back. And come to find out, I had a tumor in my back. So here's where situations start getting toxic. I have a tumor in my back. I'm scheduled to have a surgery in June. I've been working at this job at this point for 6 months now. And I'm sorry if I keep glancing. I have to make sure time. Y'all know what it is. I have it's scheduled. I've told my bosses. I've let people know, hey, June this date, I have to get my surgery. I was basically forced to go to a training and reschedule my surgery. I was forced to do it, or they threatened my job. Okay, whatever. Now I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what? I don't want to lose this job. I'm gonna keep doing it. But now things are getting toxic. So now a week after my surgery, I had a 3 week recovery period. My job is threatening me. They're threatening me. Hey, you're coming to work or you're fired. So I go to work a week after my surgery with stitches still in my back, mind you. Stitch, not even stitches, staples still in my back, mind you. Now I'm depressed because I don't know if you ever had surgery, especially when it comes to your back. But if they tell you not to be up for 2 to 3 weeks, you're not supposed to be up for 2 to 3 weeks because you have something that's called spinal headaches. Spinal headaches are the worst thing you can have. It's like, I don't know what pregnancy pain is, but it's the equivalent to pregnancy pain. That shit will put you on your ass for the whole day. And I'm cussing because the situation does make me mad when I think about it. Yeah, but it's So we move forward. So I'm coming to work. I'm busting my ass with staples in my back, with spinal headaches that have me on the desk crying every day. I'm asking my boss for a day off. They're not letting me get it. Then here comes lack of proficiency at work. Now, anybody that knows me truly knows I put my all into everything I do. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I will say that, hey, maybe because of the injury I started lacking in work, but some of the accusations they were putting on me, even some of the veterans were coming to my back like, no. He does what he's supposed to do. He busts his ass. He stays overtime when we need him to stay overtime. And it was clear as day that they were trying to get rid of me. You know what I'm saying? It's clear as day they're trying to get rid of me. Now, I'm in, why I call this a toxic situation is because I'm in a situation where I felt I gave up a lot of my goals to get to this job and was going nowhere fast. It was kind of a dead end job that I'm sacrificing my hours throughout the day to do things. I have to go home. When I get home, I'm exhausted. I don't want to move. I don't want to do anything. And I plan on going to school at first. I plan on going straight to school like I do now. Now that I would say that motivated me to go to school and focus only on school, but it was still a toxic situation because I literally put the job before my health. Now, that's just my story time. Now let's go to the subject at hand. Toxicity in this generation is at an all-time high. And the problem is a lot of toxic situations we don't have to put ourselves in, if that makes sense. For instance, I have a friend that I tell her all the time she bathes in her depression. She bathes in her toxicity. Because the most toxic thing that a human being can say, especially in this generation, is I can't. That word, that phrase by itself is toxic. And that's a phrase that we as people need to get rid of is I can't. It's either I don't know, I won't, or I don't care to. That's what I hear when I hear you say I can't. And I watch her so much, and I've talked to her about it. I watched her so much tell me about a situation she's in, seeing the woe is me, and then not really do anything about her situation. And when you tell the person that, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to listen to that. So now it puts you in a toxic situation because it's backlash on you for telling the person the truth. And I feel as though that's wrong because we're in situations that we create ourselves. Toxic situations are usually created ourselves. Any situation you are in, you can get out of. Unless you are a child, unless you are under the age of 18. And even in under the age of 18 ain't an excuse. If you're under the age, I say 14, 15, you have no excuse to get yourself out of any situation you're in. You're just holding yourself to it. And I want to talk about toxicity. I want to talk about, how can we change that? And the best way to change that is stop telling ourselves we can't get ourselves out of a toxic situation. Ladies, you dating a guy, right? This guy is demeaning you. He's calling you, I'm being real, he's calling you bitches, hoes. You ain't gonna ever be shit. But you stay with him. Why? And don't give me that love shit because I understand love. Trust me, I understand love. I've been in love. I've been stupid in love. But I'm not about to let no female demean who I am. And maybe it's because you think with your feelings, but you have clear toxic behavior showing to you, and yet you don't do anything about it. You don't leave. Men, it's vice versa. How many of us men have been told we aren't gonna be shit by people around us? I've been told I wasn't gonna be shit by my parents so many times. And I literally bathed in that shit at one point. You know what I'm saying? I bathed in that shit and thought I would never be anything. You know how many people tell me, you know how many times I post on these videos to YouTube and nobody says nothing about it? You know how many people that messaged me and said, why are you doing this? You're not going to be nothing. You're not gonna do nothing with this YouTube. Why are you doing it? That's a toxic situation. I could sit there and walk into it. I can follow the trail into it and be like, no, argue with somebody. Now I'm sitting here depressed. I'm affecting my mental health because I want to agree with somebody who's obviously so depressed with their life that they want to bash my life for something I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? We put ourselves in toxic situations, and I'm a 90s baby. I'm 91. I'm a 90s baby. As a 90s kid, we are some of the smartest dumb people. We have all the resources and everything in the world, yet we allow certain situations to happen. And I've always questioned that. Why? You know? I mean, I might be rambling a little bit. I might go back and listen to this video and re-record it. But I really wonder why. Like, first thing first, we need to stop telling ourselves that we can't get ourselves out of a situation. That's first things first. Second thing is we need to surround ourselves around people who have motives. When you're in a toxic relationship or you're in a toxic situation, you need to surround yourself around people that either been through it and they're moving forward, or people that might not have been through it, but their goals are through the roof and they're pushing for that goal. Like, I don't think people realize the people I kind of associate myself with, we are assholes, but we're blunt with each other and we all have the same goal. We want to motivate people to do better. So our goals are to do better in our lives so that we motivate the people that surround us. And by that, we want to grow our businesses. We want to be our own person. We want to be our own entrepreneurs. We want to do our own thing, be it YouTube. My best friend, my closest friend, JP, he's trying to start a video game studio with his sister. My best friend, Tisa, she's doing her art thing. She wants to start an art gallery. So it's like, I'm around people who want to be better people and do their own things. That's not toxic. We share ideas. Yeah, we're blunt. And we'll tell each other off real quick, like, bro, that's stupid. What are you talking about? But sometimes you need that blunt person to tell you being stupid. You in a stupid situation. Get yourself out of it. I've told my friend Tisa a whole bunch of times about the dude she messed with. Get yourself out the situation. And she tells me all the time about the females I mess with. Get yourself out the situation. You being stupid. That's friendships. That's true friendships. And to go on that, point 3. When you trying to learn the difference between toxicity and being real, you need to listen to what the person say. I can tell bullshit from a mile away. If I'm trying to give you advice on something and you blow me off on the advice, that means I'm not going to continue to give you advice. I'm sorry. I'm that guy. I can give you advice so much. Me and my brother JP argue all the time, but I listen to what he says. I might have an attitude about it, but I still listen to what he has to say. I take stuff that he says with a grain of salt. And even then, sometimes he might be wrong and he'll come back like, bro, I was wrong. You know, I didn't understand the situation the way I thought I did. You know, and I respect my brother to hell and back for that. Because sometimes he'll say something to me that I really needed to hear. And I have an attitude about it. And I'll be like, you know what? I really needed to hear that at that moment. Your toxicity, what you're going through, doesn't have to linger to other people. You know what I'm saying? People that are trying to help you. If you're in a toxic situation, people don't realize this. Let me go back. People don't realize this. When you're going through toxic situations, toxic relationships, it lingers. So you can be in a bad mood for what somebody else did, and your friend can be trying to give you advice. Now you got an attitude with your friend because he or she is trying to give advice to you. Now you spread that toxicity to them. And the person I cannot stand the most is a person that plays woe is me. Because a person like me, you do that to me, I'm snapping on you. And then don't turn around and say, well, this is why I don't tell you. No, don't play woe is me. It's a thing called take it with a grain of salt. Listen to what a person has to say, but you don't have to do what that person says. Every situation might be different. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just speaking on it. This comes from a place of a longtime friend that I tried to help, and basically they flipped the script and basically told me if I die, it's on you. And I know they're gonna watch it. I know they're gonna watch this video, and I want them to watch this video because I want the person to see in my face how serious I am. That hurt, like that truly hurt me. Like, I don't give my advice to everyone because not everybody understands the place that I come from. Even in this video, there's going to be a lot of people that don't understand where I'm coming from because I'm not social. I'm very introverted. I have to be close to you to actually talk to you about certain situations, and by me being introverted, it's hard for me to always express myself. This YouTube thing is new to me. Me being on this camera right now is new to me. It's hard for me to express myself, but I try as best as I can. And even when I give you advice, I try to give advice as best as I can. But when you say things as, oh, whatever happens to me is based off of you, when that person's only helping you, I'm the type of person, I have to separate myself from that. That toxicity, that's not my life. I tell everybody, life is too short for me to hold grudges and hold hate in my heart towards anybody. You can't harbor hate for things that happened in your past. You can't harbor hate for people that's truly trying to help you because you take things the wrong way when you're in your situation. And I do understand a lot of toxicity ties into mental health, but that's not always an excuse. It's not always an excuse. And as a person that has depression and social anxiety, that's not always an excuse. Sometimes you got to get up off your ass, look at your situation, look at what you can change, because any situation you can change. Any situation you can change. God put us on this earth to prove that point. There's too many people around here for us to look at to be in toxic situations we're in when we have examples of people who got out those toxic situations. You know what I mean? And this is gonna hurt some people in this video because a lot of people need to hear this. A lot of people need to hear this. Yet again, when I speak these situations, I need to hear that story about the job myself for me to look back and say, bro, I should have left that job immediately when they start on that bullshit about me not being able to go and have a surgery. I should have left that job immediately. They shouldn't have had to fire me. I should have left that job immediately because that right there went to my downfall of me being depressed. When I got back home. Me going to work earlier, not even worrying about my health. Now, what would have happened if I had permanent damage to my nerves? Because that was the thing. What would have happened if my surgery was messed up and with the tender skin? I'm just saying. I don't know if it could have happened, but let's say when the staples popped or the staples started popping because I'm working and I'm moving too much. That could have been a thing. And a lot of people want to take that as toxicity, but that's a toxic situation. That's a very toxic situation. True toxicity is any situation that demeans you and sends you regressing from the person that you are. You don't progress, you regress. That's toxicity. That's true toxicity. And the sad matter of the life is this generation, a lot of us are regressing in toxic situations. And we need to change that, man. But this has been Nappy Head Millie. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I don't want to be no more depressing or nothing like that. Like I said, I don't mean to hurt anybody. If you get offended, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm always going to keep it real with you. This is what you hit the sub and you like and you share my videos for. Because I'm always going to keep it real with you. I plan on doing these videos at least once a week. I'll always ask for a topic that you guys want me to talk about. And I'll push it out to go with my 4 videos a week. But other than that, it's been Nappy Head Millie. Peace.